Hello and welcome to Garden Obsessions. Another day outdoors, getting this our spring on right now. We are going ahead and doing the front today. So the kids are out, everybody is having a great time, and they're going to be helping today just a little bit with certain things out here. We're out in the front of the house, the south face part of our home. And I wanted to go ahead and show you, we've done a couple of things already and spruced up the area for spring. I went ahead and changed already the wreath. I went ahead and ordered one. I was thinking of doing something in terms of a live wreath, but I really wanted to, guys. But then I thought, you know what, I think it's best that I just go with something fake for up here. I did go with this little fake boxwood one. Just keep it simple. And it gets really hot up here with the black door. I did not want something that I was going to have to be watering all the time. So then I went ahead and I'm just going to show you a little bit, because this video is going to be about the pots on the bottom of the stairs as we're coming up here. But I wanted to show you what we already did. As y'all saw, as y'all already got to see, I was sweeping around and cleaning the area again. But not so long ago, I think it was late winter, I went ahead and refreshed the pots that I had around fall time. So I had my little man, our son, tell me towards the end of winter that where was spring and where were the flowers? When were the flowers going to come back? And I think, I was there already too. That was it. I wanted to see some flowers. And I remembered I had some pansies out there, which are these that I had bought around fall time. I didn't get to use all of them. This one right here is gorgeous, if Ambrose can see it. Such a pretty color. And they were neglected little pansies out there. Didn't look like much. And I said, you know what? The weather's so mild here. Pansies, pansies love the cold either way. I said, let's go ahead and spruce them up, put them back in there. Ambrose had found some pots, some tulips too. We had no idea. We didn't think we were going to do any tulips this year either, because of everything that's been going around because of the move. So I was kind of bummed out about that. But you know what? He found a pack of them. We went ahead and got them. And these are the ones blooming right now. And they're coming up, guys. I planted them a little, late, but they're coming up. And you know what? There's always a way. There is always a way. Somehow it happened. And then I still have the vinca. So these are the original plants to this pot. And this one is a variegated vinca. And look at that beautiful flower. First time I've ever seen this one flower. Y'all can see some variegation. This leaf is beautiful, and it's just gonna start, but it has buds already, start to flower. And then this is a mahogany monster, heuchera. So it's done amazing. All this is from what it had in fall, and all this right here is new growth. So it's spruced up, it's done amazing, and those are the pots that I have right now. So I just reused everything, and I thought it was very important, especially right now at this time, to see that you can go ahead and reuse something, squeeze a couple of things, and you can refresh the container for spring, for another season to go. So I have a little pot still of violas right here that I will be probably putting in some in prettier containers. But for now, they're fine like that. And then if anyone remembers me planting way back, probably in spring or early spring, this is the little rose called Easy Peasy from Pruning Winners, which will be out in garden centers this year. So let's head down here and see what we're going to do with the containers that I had planted up for winter. So we planted these up at the end of fall. And I love the way that live plants do through the whole time that is winter, because I get to see something happening all the time, and it gets me to still come out and see what's going on in the garden and take my little walks. And these live winter containers did amazing. Now we did have, the funny thing was that after we plant these containers with the dogwood, we had like a couple of days the first freeze, and the whole pot, both pots froze up. And I was so worried because we had just planted these in They had not rooted yet, and I was very worried. But it's time to clean them up. It's time to get everything else out, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut back the dogwood. Show you how to do it. Actually, let's go ahead and do the dogwood right now. The kids will be coming and helping me out in a little bit to remove other things and do a little bit of the container cleanup. So, this dogwood is called Arctic Fire. I think that's how you say it. Arctic Fire from Pruning Winters. Now, dogwood does grow in old wood. It's already starting to flower. I'll show some pictures of close-ups of the flower. And I am going to go ahead and sacrifice the flowers right now. But reason being is I want to groom the plant back. Dogwoods are recommended to go ahead and cut back every 2 to 3 years, I think, just so you can get more of the beautiful color of the stems. It did give me very pretty color throughout winter. I'm not going to say it didn't. It did. That's not the reason I'm cutting it back. I'm cutting it back because all these little pieces up here, it starts getting thin up here, and we don't have a big garden this time around. The size is small in our garden space, so I just want to go ahead and cut it a little bit back. So you can either go all the way down, prune it hard, or you can go ahead and prune it. I'm going to go a third. You can go ahead and prune it a third. What I want to do first is look for anything that is dead, damaged. Like this right here, guys. This is dead, so I don't want that. Anything that's crossing, also cut back. But this one did really well. It's really opened up, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and where there's a little note, I'm gonna cut up to there. I'm hoping we can plant these out. Let me get a can, guys, to throw things. I'm hoping we can plant this out in the ground. There's some leaves right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut right and facing. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it at an angle, so if it rains, the water just slips down. Cut that one just a little bit more. I'm trying to find, there we go, the little notes. And all you want to do is go ahead and just groom it. Just cut as much as you think that you need to. Now, as you can see, I had Fire Nandina in here. I just cut myself. I'm trying so bad to save the flowers, but it needs to get trimmed. Yeah, like I was telling y'all, I had planted in here Fire Nandina. It turned red in winter. It was just a beautiful show. I love Nandina. I've always loved to use Nandina. I don't think it's used a lot. Such a pretty plant to use all year round. It, you know, a lot of interest through the year. I don't know if I should go shorter than that, but that did really well. And then the evergoat grass. I'll go ahead and take some close-ups later on that one for y'all. It's flowering right now, so that's another awesome thing. That is actually flowering. So it's nice that, you know, early spring. The garden centers weren't open yet around here in Virginia, the one we go to, and or if they're open, they don't carry a lot of stuff yet. But it's nice that this container kept thriving and doing different things. I kept on seeing it just do different things through the whole winter and early spring. I'm still seeing it do flower and, you know, put a lot of more growth to different things. Okay, so I think I'm gonna have the kids come out here and start helping me with taking some of the pine cones out. Okay, done pruning it. I'm happy with the shape. I'm okay with this. If I notice something missing, I'll go ahead and take care of it later. I'm gonna take it out, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it into another pot. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my transplanter, and I am so happy, guys. We've been using all our Corona tools. I think we haven't even given them a break. Somehow, one way or another, we've been using them. So you're gonna hear noises for now, guys. It's a busy street, and there's cars and people passing around here. Everybody's out because it's such a beautiful time right now. The weather is perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring out this guy. Let's see. And I like this tool that it's called a transplanter, because it's very comfortable because of the gel handle, but also it's serrated from right here, the edge. So it helps you go in. That's why it's called a transplanter. It helps you go in and cut all around it. I do want to be careful with the dogwood's roots. But after it went through winter and it froze and everything, I say this guy is tough. I think he can take it all. Such a beautiful plant to have in the garden, guys. Enjoyed it so much. And here comes my little one with his play lawnmower. I guess he's gonna cut the grass for us. And here we go. There's one. I don't know how much more. Maybe this right here. I'll go back and give it a cleanup. Use my containers. Now let's do the second one. Okay, so once again, why I love life containers, because now I get to use all of this again. That's why it's very important to me to use plants like the fire Nandina here that changes colors through the seasons, you know. So it was red in winter. Now it's starting to lose all that red, and there's green coming up. So what I'm gonna do right now is look for the green, cut back down where it's at, all those leaves. Also, there's been a lot of wind and still cold days, so the leaves start to what is that word? Windburn. They get windburn. But it just amazes me how fast it turned green. So I'm just cleaning it up right now. And you know, I will be doing another container for here for as the season gets warmer. But you can keep something like this all through the, I'm gonna come down here, guys. You can keep something like this through the whole time, you know, as long as the container is big enough to be able to hold the roots of these plants. That way you can change things, you know, once in a while in every season if you just want to change the back plant or the middle plant. Okay, I'm not going to take too much of it off. You can go really hard on Nandina so it can, you know, rejuvenate and bring all that new growth up, but I'm going to use it right now with another plant that I'm very excited to show you in a little bit. But now I have down here, not sure if y'all can see, the English ivy that I put in there. So I'm going to come and trim it back just a little bit. Like I said, the plants have gotten windburn. They've been windburned. And just clean out everything. But when the carex grass wasn't that full, the English ivy was really giving such, it just looks so pretty all together, especially around Christmas time. The colors just went perfect. And here he comes, mowing the lawn. Go mow the lawn, Ambrose.
Wait, why am I saying don't mow the lawn? I didn't touch you.
Okay, so the evergold grass, I'm just trimming away little things here and there. There's little pieces here that are not that nice. Just gonna fluff it up a little bit. I don't really want to cut it too much, but I do want to clean it a little bit. And it's flowering. That's what I wanted to show y'all. Y'all can see that right there. Little flowers that it has. Now how sweet is that? Everything is doing something, and that's what I love. Through the whole time, you know, I've had it planted, something's been happening, and I think that is what's so special, you know, to be able to enjoy something through every season. So I'm going to go ahead and finish doing this side. So another thing that I forgot to mention about the dogwood that I love so much and why I want to find a place for it specifically, hopefully I can find something in the back of our garden area where there's more shade, excuse the sounds. The foliage is going to be, that's why it reminded me right now, because it's going to have a golden color, the foliage, and I am just so excited about that. But one plant, guys, that I'm going to show you right now that I'm so excited about, you cannot cut back around this time like we did the dogwood. So I'm going to show you right now exactly who I'm talking about, because we've had this plant since last year, and I'm gonna say we had it around last spring, and I just had to get it. We knew we were moving. We knew we were getting ready to move, and we found the boomerang purple lilacs from Pruning Winners at our nursery back in North Carolina. And actually, one's already starting to open right there, guys. And why I say that you can't cut this one back right now is because then you'll lose all its, you know, its beautiful flower that's going to give us right now. The great thing about boomerang is that it's a reblooming lilac. So I won't just be seeing the flowers right now for one time out of the year, but I will be seeing them once again around fall. I think around the end of summer, if I'm correct, and fall. I will go ahead and put up all the information over the plants on the screen. But this guy I will tell you right now that it is hardy, USDA zones of 3 through 7. So it can really take the cold. And I'm just excited that this year we had colder temperatures here in Virginia than we had in North Carolina. Not that I'm saying that it didn't bloom for me over there. It was a small plant, but I want to see this year if it's going to give more bloom here. So, because it's cooler weather, a little bit cooler than what it was in Virginia. In North Carolina, let's wait a little minute. In North Carolina, we lived in zone 8A. Now we are in zone 7B, so I did notice it's a little bit more cooler. So I'm gonna go ahead and take out these guys, and we're gonna pop them in right here. So here it is. It's looking good still. And I'm going to just tease them a little bit because the poor things have been in those containers. If I'm correct, it was last spring. So why am I using Biotone for people that have never heard of it? Because it helps with the roots. It helps stimulate root growth. I'm also going to rub it on the roots. Alright, had a little bit of tough time getting it in there. And then we had our son literally swimming in mulch on the side of the house. So yeah, had to pause for a little bit there. They're having a lot of fun back there. So I'm hoping I can fit in here a couple of pansies or violas with it. I didn't want to bother the roots too much right now, so I didn't take roots off of the lilac. So I'm filling this back in. We've already put our biotone in there so the roots can start setting in. And I left the lilac a little bit up. It rains a lot here. I don't want it to get root rot. Okay, so change of plans. These guys are not gonna go in there. I was thinking I wanted more color, but I think the star of the of the container should just shine on its own. And I thought these were gonna be tall enough to be able to be shown, and no, it doesn't need to be in there. This will hopefully, which I do see a lot of more growth coming, like all these right here. I was so tempted to cut these back from the lilac, but you can tell there's little buds right there. It's gonna leave out more. It's barely, putting on more growth, more leaves. So it's just, starting to put on more growth. So I'm not going to do anything to it. I was very tempted to cut this back just because, there was no green right there, but I can see the little buds coming out. It's going to do something. It's gonna give more flower. And the Nandina, I did cut it back a little bit. It'll bush up right away as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the second one. Okay, so I'm all done, and Amber's went ahead and helped me out cover the rest of the, bring some soil over here. We covered up with the some espoma soil around it because I didn't have enough, but I am very happy. There was many changes through this. I was hoping that I was going to use my pansies and my violas. I was so excited for those, and then I was like, no, I don't need them. The plant was big enough. They're going to bush out more, the lilacs. Everything else is going to fill out more. I did cut some back. The grass, I didn't want to cut it too much because it looks a little weird when you cut it all back. But it did need a little lift, so I always make fun of the grass because it reminds me so much of cutting hair. But anyways, the important thing I think here was that I got to use something that I already had. I didn't have to go and get anything from here. I used what I had. I used my containers, the part of the container that I had from the end of fall, through winter and now spring. Watching them do something, change through the whole time, and still giving me some surprises. And I had this already. I had a plant already. I had my lilacs that I was holding on to for a while now, and I'm so happy to see them in there. I think once they know they're in there, those roots are just gonna start taking off, and the plants are gonna, they're just gonna go ahead and start blooming and sprouting away. So anyways, all the color is up there. The kids have been having a blast. I've been letting them, do the front of the house, and I think they've done a good job. I probably just need little pots for the violas, but that's good. And I'm happy with it, and I think that's what's good, that one is happy with what one does, what the come out of it at the end. So this is it, guys. I'm just gonna go ahead and water my pots, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that everybody is safe at home with everything that's going on right now, that y'all keep safe. So let's go ahead and get these watered, and I will see you later. Goodbye, guys. Bye.